O Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhididitam Kalma Shapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Bhurida Jana. Let us resume our discussion on Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual discourses with his intimate devotees in the house of Girish Chandra Ghosh in North Kolkata on 25th of February 1885. On his way to witness a drama in Star Theatre, Bishaketu, he stopped over at the house of Girish Chandra Ghosh in North Kolkata. The topic we were discussing was the debts of the householders. The householders has several debts towards the gods, number one. Second, towards the forefathers. Devarin, Tithridin, towards the sages and seers, Rishidin, and again he says towards his spouse. If a person is married, he has some obligations, debts to his wife as well. She cannot be ignored or neglected. So now Sri Ramakrishna here gives a total package for everyone. There is a solution, there is a model, there is a code of conduct laid down by Sri Ramakrishna. Householders and monastics alike. Usually, so far in the history of the world, a spiritual leader, a religious head, either advocated the discipline of monasticism or the discipline of householder, staying in one or the other discipline by their life and message. They shew what is the ideal way to lead their particular life, but at the same time they would advise the other groups also indirectly. Like Sri Chaitanya Dev. Now he was a householder, full-fledged householder. He was earning a lot of money by his school toll. He was a very erudite scholar, a lot of name and fame. He was married to a beautiful lady, Vishnu Priya Devi. Though he lost his father at a young age, but his mother was very loving and affectionate. And we all know that he was an incarnation of God, and he used to teach how to denounce everything for the sake of God. But the people of the society started criticizing him, telling that he is talking about the big sermons of renunciation while he is himself engaged in lust and wealth. He is earning a lot of funds, he has a beautiful wife at his home, and having enjoyed all these facilities, how can he talk about renunciation for others? So he thought that his message of renunciation will go in vain unless he illustrates what is renunciation. It was not necessary for him. He was God incarnate. So the way he was running the show, he could have. But then his purpose of Advent is lost. He has come to the world to take everyone to the level of divinity, and for which there is only one way. You have to understand that the spiritual laws do not change, the change takes place. Spiritual laws are primarily the main understanding, and other things also follow suit. So the idea is that renunciation alone is the way. Tyage naiki amritattva manashuhu. So that Chaitanya Dev did, and when he understood that he should be backed by his life, he left his hearth and home and went to Puri, Jagannath Puri. The last 18 years of his life, he spent the life in absolute, strict renunciation. Renunciation per se, the control of the sense organs from the sense objects. His control of sense organs have been depicted by his act, that his tongue will refuse to take the taste if it is not allowed. The natural propensity of tongue for the sake of the attractive food. So in his case, when sugar used to be put on his tongue, sugar used to remain unmelted, dry. The tongue will not get moist with the touch of sugar, which is unthinkable. Our sense organs and sense objects are interrelated. But the scriptures say, if you can develop your mind in such a way that your total control will be exhibited in your life. This is how he lived. Nevertheless, he had a deep sympathy for the householders. So for them, neither he could remain, and then Avadhut, his companion was Nityananda. He was from the beginning, put somewhere else. So there his life proved a life of complete renunciation, being a monk himself, following the norms of the monks. But then for the householders he had to do something, so he spared his companion Nityananda. He said, you better go back and embrace the householder's life to demonstrate how a life of renunciation has to be spent in order to realize Krishna. So that's why Nityananda came back and got married. And then his life was a life of appreciation. So here, this we find Sri Ramakrishna is not only demonstrating these here as a life of a monk, but he is demonstrating a life of a householder also. This is the unique feature where in one life we get a model of both ideal householder and ideal monk. So what is to be done by the monks, he has already said. Now their audience, there was householders also. So now I took up the case for the householders. Now for the householder, he said, there are certain debts for the forefathers, for gods, and to the past, the men of realization, and also in the family, the mainly his nearest kith and kin, wife and children, if he is married. So now to what extent that responsibility is there, that also he quantifies in detail. Nowhere it is found. The code of conduct of a householder being spoken by a saint, because he was a saint and a householder simultaneously. A unique life. He lived with his wife till the last day of his life. But he was Tyagishwara, Tyag ke Badshah hai. Nobody has seen such renunciation anywhere in the history of mankind. That the scripture says that you have to get away from money and gold. Now, it has been told, but his practice is so perfect that nobody can imagine that such a great renunciation is possible in this world. There is a natural abhorrence of his renunciation. Now it is said that money and gold, but gold is a metal. So his renunciation was to that extent that he could not even touch a metal. All metals are not money. But even metal wares could not be touched by him. Metal mugs for carrying water. Because it has relation. Out of that metal, the coins are made. So the metal has to be rejected. Such spontaneous reaction, people is to be surprised. So that we will be ensured that this degree of renunciation has to be maintained. So here we have done the discussion because of this. Now there, as he said, that the householder has certain debts, certain obligations to their wives. Now, since it is there in the text, I have to discuss. I may not be the competent person to handle this topic, but then it is in the text. It is my duty to delineate as far as my understanding, and you will be able to accept it as per your reasoning. So he says clearly that the householders fail to identify that who is a good wife and is a bad wife. He classifies the wives into two parts. One is good, another is bad. The good wife helps the husband to reach the goal. And the bad wife takes the husband away from God. So this is a simple thing. The good wife is called Vidya Shakti and bad wife is called Avidya Shakti. Now, So when a good wife takes this to God, it is acceptable, should be helped, should be happy. But nevertheless, all wives may not be good. When you have a bad wife, then how to tackle the situation? He never said that if you have a bad wife, you disown her, do a divorce. He never said. First of all, he said the householder must have the knowledge, the competence to identify who is a good wife and who is a bad wife. They do not know. He is saying clearly, as we will understand. It is not for us to understand, seeing a person, whether he will help me towards God or he will take me away. He says there are some signs, lakshana. Seeing the signs, you can conclude whether this person is your person to help you or put a hindrance. Both are possible. He doesn't rule out. All will not be good. So first of all, we have to identify. So now he is giving several signs by which the good wife can be screened out from the general category. So he has given here 7 signs by which a wife can be identified. Whether it is a good wife he says Vidya Shakti, Vidya Stri, and bad wife he says Avidya Stri. The both power is to the Divine Mother. By Vidya Shakti, she liberates human beings. By through Avidya Shakti, she keeps them bound. विद्या शक्ति से हमें उद्धार कर देते हैं एवं अविद्या शक्ति से हमें बंधन में फेंक देते हैं, फंसा देते हैं. So first of all, we have to know what are the qualifications and the signs by which we can understand this is a good wife and a bad wife. Then you have to find out how to keep engaged. First of all, तो कम से कम जानकारी होना चाहिए कौन है. Now the different signs he has said for the Vidya Shakti, the good piece, good concert, good spouse, that she has certain noble qualities. Her passions are less. Specifically, काम क्रोध इत्यादि बहुत कम होते हैं. It's not that they are without it. We don't expect that it will be completely free from anger, passion, etc. Passions are there, but in a minimum dimension. It's first sign. जो विद्या शक्ति है उसमें काम क्रोध आदि कम होती है. नंबर 1. काम क्रोध आदि कम है कि ज़्यादा है बाहर से हम नहीं देख सक पाते हैं, लेकिन उनका जो आचरण से आपको पता चलेगा कि ये कैसा है. नंबर 1 हो गया. दूसरा, और काम क्रोध आदि कम होता है, ये भी क्वालिटेटिव. वी कैन नॉट अंडरस्टैंड वेदर ए पर्सन हैज़ लेस पैशन और मोर पैशन फ्रॉम आउटसाइड इज नॉट सीन. Similarly, when a person becomes frequently angry or more angry, that can be reflected by her temperament, but not always. So second sign दिया है, she sleeps less. घूम कम. This is also a particular thing needs our attention. Now, she sleeps little. Now, regarding sleep, we must have certain clarification. For our normal livelihood, we need a fixed number of hours of sleep. But interestingly, that varies with the individual. Everyone in this world does not require the same amount of sleep. Depending on his or her temperament, then body nomenclature, type of activities, then body-mind relation. So we, the experts, our practitioners, they review and then they give us that this is recommended for you. So this is one thing. Now, so sleep is variable, but for this person, she sleeps less. Her requirement for sleep is less. When a person is meditative, then his mind remains quiet, calm, and he requires less sleep in general. But if a person does not do any meditation, he is constantly engaged in work, especially physical work, then he naturally requires some extra sleep. He is not talking about the sleep we have to vary according to our job. So here he is telling that this person sleeps less than this qualification she has, because she is sattvic, she is not interested in any other hectic life of life. And then thirdly, he says that he also persuades her husband to lead a spiritual life. Now naturally, the husband and wife has separate relations, but he says he pushes the husband's head away to give him warning to be alone and pursue the name of God. Do not come after my flesh. She takes the control. So then this is the third sign. First of all, her passions are less. Second, she sleeps little. There is enough for her. Rest of the time she puts in the thinking of God and doing her service. And thirdly, that she takes the husband's head away if he approaches her, because indicating that let us lead a pure life. The next sign bataya, after this achievement, now we find she has divine noble qualities in abundance. As she sleeps less, and nevertheless her divine acumen is unparalleled. So this is the feedback Thakur is giving. This person, the good wife, his behavior will be like this, and he helps the husband towards the spiritual goal, while her passions will be less, the sleep will be less, and she, on the other hand, इनको स्नेह, daya, bhakti, these are in abundance. What she does not have any hankering for wealth or attraction. She doesn't want anything, but she has a spontaneous fountain of affection, of compassion, and peace and harmony. जो विद्या शक्ति है उसमें स्नेह, दया, भक्ति, लज्जा आदि होती है. She is endowed with these womanly noble qualities. Sneha means affection, kindness, devotion, modesty, and other noble qualities. She is a noble person. She has all these divine. These are all human qualities, not divine. The affection, the devotion, kindness, these are all human qualities. She has those human qualities in abundance, and she persuades the husband to follow her in realizing God in this life. It's a partner, spiritual partner. And she ever is eager to increase the love of God of the husband. She helps. Now, to certain extent, she is such an intelligent person. Her attitude towards other male persons, by her life she demonstrates. Her attitude towards other male persons, that she serves them, thinking them as her own children. She serves the other people of the society, other than the husband, thinking them as these children, her own children. She is affectionate, but there is no passionate behavior to any opposite sex. This is a Vidya Shakti. Now she is so considerate, so practical, and so intelligent that she runs the household with minimum expenditure. It is not that she is crippen, she is miser. We will be astounded, wonder that how noble these housewives were there in our country. Nowhere you will find. Even this idea does not exist anywhere, that she is spending less for the sake of the husband. She is spending less. Why? Because the husband has to procure the money. If she spends more, the husband has to work more, and he will get less time for worshipping God. See how noble she is. In order that the husband may get more time to call on God, she reduces her expenditure. So that minimum expenditure he can provide, and the rest of the time may be devoted for thinking of God, God realization. It's such a noble quality she has. That's why it makes her an ideal person. So this is very important, that he is so considerate that nobody should be subjected to any adversaries. Sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrana pashyanti. Wherever there is in distress, he is always there. So serves everybody, all male persons as their own child, own male child, so that people have confidence on God every now and then. So she is a great lady. So here he helps the husband in the divine topic, talks about God, and gradually takes her hand in hand. So here we find that Vidya Shakti is a spiritual partner of the husband. Is not a biological partner, is spiritual partner. She is helping the husband till both of them may reach God. So now, if the wife is not a Vidya Shakti, then what to do? That also has been prescribed. It is not necessary that but Vidya Shakti means the person may not have all these qualities to the 100%. Some percentage of these qualities will make a Vidya Shakti. But if a person is devoid of such qualities, doesn't have these qualities, so if a person, the wife is completely opposite, then what is to be done? Should he divorce her? Should he send her away? No. The householder has a duty to the wife, that also has been clearly specified. If wife is chaste, then provisions, chaste means she may not be interested for realizing God or helping others, helping God and others to reach the goal. In case she is not interested, but you can overboard throw it away. The person, householder has to give maintenance of that person. These are modern, the legal terms. The Thakur says he has to give a maintenance of that wife as long as she lives. It's for duty that it debt to a wife. So whether he is chaste or he is unchaste, the first duty is to give her a maintenance till she is alive. She doesn't have to, because previously in those days the husband used to be considered as the only earning member. It was not like today that both are earning simultaneously. So let us follow his norm. That wife has to help the husband so that both of them may realize God, and she will manage her household with whatever funds available to her, but she leaves the male folk to be on their own. They will provide all the facilities, need not worry. So here with this assurance, now she controls the household. If she does not behave like this, then also householder has two duty. One is maintenance, that is common for both. Now another is that the householder must present the wife with one or two children to maintain the progeny. This is our tradition, because the maintenance of the household is necessary for our offering the oblations to our forefathers. जो पूर्व पुरुष है, those who are our, I said he has some pitridin, that debt to his forefathers, his own family members who expired. We believe that they are still in the Preth Loka. They have not gone. They are in different lokas and they are to be fed. The food has to be offered, not only to the gods but to our forefathers also. Who will offer the food? Householders, not sannyasins. The duty of the householder is to offer the offerings to gods. As I discussed, what is God? God is that Pancha Devata and other Ishta Devata, etc. That is, the food is to offer to the Devarin and the Pitri forefathers. Now we know that during the Mahalaya we do Tarpan for 15 days. We offer to our forefathers who are in the celestial level, celestial bodies. They are not a physical body. So that offering has to be done by the householder. Now, if his family link is closed, if he does not have any children, then who will do it? The forefathers will go unfed. So he has a duty to continue the lineage of that family. This is, ये बताया है. Now, there is a catch, I cannot go to such details. Now, Sri Ramakrishna clearly says he should have one or two sons. They should be there. So, because the Pitridin, the offering is to be done by the male member. So, presumably, there is a present have a continuance of the lineage. This is the matter. With the wife, whether is chaste or unchaste, he has to see that the lineage is continued and the wife is maintained till the end of her life. And if this wife is Vidya Shakti, the spiritually oriented, then she becomes a spiritual partner. Or else, if she is not spiritually oriented, then she should be left as she is. There should not be any quarrel, and she should be allowed to live her life, but our own life has to be maintained. This is this discipline laid down by Sri Ramakrishna for the householders. Now, and naturally, if he has not fortunate to have the Vidya Shakti, a favorable wife is given here. A good wife and bad wife, he says, but if he is not a good wife, then the householder definitely can pray to God so that her mind becomes spiritually oriented and becomes a helpful person for his spiritual journey. Now here he adds that there are certain kinds of women, he is not talking about wife, certain kinds of women who are mannish and their signs are not good. They are not spiritually oriented persons. That physical appearance, now he is telling, those things we said about his personality and lifestyle, here he says there are some physical appearance by which you can identify whether this person is good or bad. Here gives his 5 types of this specimen. Those specimens if we find to a woman, then this person is not good. Now how Sri Ramakrishna says, I do not know, but it's very interesting that Sri Ramakrishna is saying that फिर मर्दानी स्त्रियों का भी लक्षण है, खराब लक्षण. These are not good signs. The mannish women have different traits. These are bad traits. One was Vidya Shakti, another is Avidya Shakti, another is third quality is mannish woman. Those who are this like this male person, less of feminine qualities. Now there are 5 signs he has said. First is that it's in Bengali. Now it's very old Bengali. Those Bengali language is gone now. Even the modern Bengalis, the present day Bengalis will not be able to understand. It's not in our vocabulary. It's not in our present vocabulary. But we must know what God said about these people. At least hearing. Tara chok kature un panjure biral chok bachure gal. Bengalis will not be able to understand. Tera is all right, squint-eyed. जो ठीक है, जो टेढ़ी है. Now, but then later he says, चोक कोटोरे उन पांजुरे बाछुरे गाल बिड़ाल चोक. So one is this, now टेढ़ी है, this now squint is the physical problem with the patients which is now being treated also. Squint-eyed. Squint clinic also is there. But this is who are naturally inborn, those who are squint-eyed, they are considered to be that less spiritual. It's very interesting. Now, Sharat Maharaj, Swami Sharadanandaji, he was little squint-eyed. If you see his picture, you'll find he's squint-eyed. Now Sri Ramakrishna says, I prayed to the Divine Mother that Sharat is squint-eyed, but he should be endowed with spiritual favor. And by the prayer of my prayer, Sharat is good, he is not bad. Showing that even if a person is squint-eyed, he should not be condemned. If he prays, then that is compensated by the prayer. Nevertheless, those who are squint-eyed, they are considered to be not a spiritually oriented person. Number one. Second is, he says that dhasi hui aankhein. One is squint-eyed, another is that hollow eyes. Those whose eyes are within their socket, they are not in the same level. Dhasi hui aankhein, this chok koture means the eyes are pressed inside, the hollow eyes, that is told. Number two. Third is Bidal chok, that is cat-like eyes. These cats have the eyes which are not black. So, these cat-like eyes are not a good sign. That's what Sri Ramakrishna said. Bidal chok, it's बिल्ली जैसे आंखें, this विराट को. And then fourth बताया बाछुरे गाल, ऊन पांजुरे, that is the bones have switched in. ऊन पांजुरे बताया हड्डियाँ उभरी हुई हड्डियाँ, that is the हड्डियाँ उड़ी हुई यहाँ पर जो बताया. एंड दिस pigeon breast, यहाँ पर जो बताया when हजिया उभरी. एंड फिफ्थ इज दैट बाछुरे गाल, that is like the lantern jaws, like a calf. Lantern jaws, like the jaws are protruded. Lantern jaws, technically is called lantern jaws, and like the calves, like the calf's jaws, it resembles. And also ये बछड़े जैसे गाल and हड्डियाँ उभरी हुई, that is ऊन पांजर, that is his bones are like pigeon breast. Anyway, these are some of these physical traits mentioned by Sri Ramakrishna. So all he is trying to say that we have to be extremely careful in our life. We cannot take life so easy. Every moment should be spent so that it is utilized to realize God here and now. The people with whom we interact must be also spiritually oriented. In order that we can identify good people, can identify spiritually oriented people, he is making such attempts. He is trying to educate us, elevate us, illumine us to understand what is good and what is bad in this world. We cannot accept everything without discrimination. We must have the viveka, discrimination, what is good and what is bad. And now, how to discriminate, how to know what is good, what is bad, he is saying. Those women who are behaving like this, stay away from them. They will not be helping you. You don't have to quarrel with them, but you must know. No point being ignorant and a fool. He is educating us not to condemn anybody. Nobody should be condemned. People are born with different qualities, different physical. But so far as we are concerned, we cannot afford to get involved with non-spiritual people and waste our time. We must be very careful so that such non-spiritual persons may be kept at distance, and we proceed with our journey towards the goal. With this background, now Girish Chandra Ghosh comes forward. He has given this background. Now, he wants to make a summary. Girish Chandra Ghosh is a practical person. He is a householder. What is the way for people like us? आप ये बताइए कि हमें क्या करना है. This is the most important thing. Such varied information. Now it's difficult to collect that varied information and then implement in life. सीधा साधा बात है, हमारे उद्धार का उपाय क्या है ये बताओ. As in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna says कि व्यामिष्टेन व वाक्येन बुद्धि मोह शिव में. आप इतना किस्म का बात बोल रहे हो, कभी कर्म का बात बोल रहे हो, कभी ज्ञान का बात बोल रहे हो. आई एम कन्फ्यूज्ड. अर्जुन इज टेलिंग. तद एक पद निश्चित्य जनश्याम अपनम. एक चीज बताओ, एक तद एक पद जिससे हमारा भलाई होगा वो बताइए. इतना डिफरेंट टॉपिक देने से आई एम गेटिंग कन्फ्यूज. हियर सेम थिंग कहते हैं गिरीश घोष कि परिष्कार बताते हैं यहाँ पर. आमादेर उपाय की बस. व्हाट इज आवर वे आउट? वी वांट टू नो. डू नॉट वांट एनी डिटेल्स. एंड ही ऑल्सो गिव्स द आंसर इन वन वर्ड. भक्ति ही सार है बस. He didn't say long sermon. What is our way out? What is our way out? People like us, he is saying, like ordinary people, especially Girish Chandra Ghosh, he is a person out and out sinner. Those who are lost, they have been the diverted. पथभ्रष्ट हो गया. जो पापी है उनका क्या उपाय है? आई एम टू नो. कोई उपाय है? बोले जरूर. भक्ति इज द ओनली एसेंशियल थिंग. बस भक्ति ही सार है. इन वन वर्ड ही इज गिविंग द रिप्लाई. नाउ वी नो टू रियलाइज गॉड देयर आर वेराइटीज ऑफ वेज. ज्ञान है, कर्म है, भक्ति है, राजयोग है, ध्यान, नाना प्रकार का है. विभिन्न धर्म है, विभिन्न रिलीजन है, विभिन्न धर्म गुरु है, दर्शन है, मतवाद है, अद्वैत, द्वैत, विशिष्ट द्वैत. ही ऑल समराइजेस वन भक्ति. भक्ति ही सार है. नाउ हियर ऑल्सो ही कैटेगराइजेस भक्ति, द डिवोशन. ही सेइंग भक्ति ही सार है. भक्ति इज एसेंशियल थिंग, बट देयर आर different categories of this bhakti. That is Swatik Bhakti, Rajasic Bhakti, Tamasic Bhakti. Because Girish Chandra said, what is the way out of people like us? Now there are three varieties of people. One is Sattvic, those who are close to God. These are good natured person who are having their mind oriented towards God. Second is Rajasic, those who have lot of aspirations, those who have desires, they want to fulfill their sense enjoyments. These are the Rajasic. And Tamasic, they are devoid of any activity. That मूढ़ता, जड़ता, आलस्य, ये सबसे भरा हुआ है तामसिक. He says that bhakti also is of three varieties. For sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. So people can adopt the bhakti in any of these depending on their choice. Wonderfully said. It's not mandatory that everybody will have sattvic bhakti. His life, his character may not conform to that way of life. But bhakti is the main. Bhakti has to be followed, but then that can be adapted towards our individual temperament. Very nicely you have said. What is the way out? Bhakti is the way out, but you can adapt it depending on your personal capacity and station of life. We'll elaborate on this point in our next Sunday class. Niranjanam nityam ananta rupam bhaktanukampadhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Now, let us close with a chanting of the Lord in chorus. Please join with me. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. There are a couple very important announcements. Will be printed in our bi-monthly program to be published very shortly. The first, as I have already announced, that our senior most Vice President, Srimad Swami Muktinathanandaji Maharaj, is coming in this region to inaugurate our newly formed Basti Center, the temple, come monks quarter, inaugurated on 31st of August next month. And Basti, new center has been opened. And following day, that is 1st of September, he is supposed to do the Bhumi Pujan of our newly purchased land to be purchased in Ajodhya, tentatively. And first he is coming to stay at Lucknow Ashrama, 1st September. There is a Friday. 2nd September he takes rest and goes to the hospital, some inauguration, pranam. 3rd September Sunday he has agreed to give initiation, mantra diksha. Those who are left out, so it is their golden opportunity to have the mantra diksha, but this time his visit is only one day, so he may not be able to satisfy everybody. But still then we will try to maintain the norm of first come, first serve. So that is, and then 4th September he leaves for our Uttarakhand, is to visit Shamlatal, Almora, etc. This is regarding the program of Swami Gautamanandaji. Secondly, there is a youth convention, regional youth convention will be done here in this ashrama on 13th August. 12th August is National Mental Health Day, and 12th there will be some competitions of the youth throughout the day, and 13th there will be youth convention throughout the day. There will be the regional youth convention, so the youth delegates will come from different centers throughout the state of UP and Uttarakhand. They will be accommodated in our guest house as far as practicable, and we will have the total full day spiritual retreat on this youth convention on 13th, and 12th there will be competition. So you are all advised to get yourself name is registered. Then thirdly, the Durga Puja is on the way, so that making of the Kathama Puja has already started. A sculptor has come from Banaras. From yesterday he has started the frame Pratima of Ma Durga that has started. So that will participate in due course. So all of you are welcome to participate in other activities of the mutt, which is being constantly circulated through internet and printed circulars. Thank you.